Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are diving deep into a classic tango experience. We're going to peel back the layers of a perfect set of songs from one of the true masters, looking at everything from the musical story it tells to the legendary artists who made it all happen.
Okay, so before we really get into the music, we got to get our heads around one key concept, the Tanda. At a Milonga, that's a tango dance party, the DJ plays songs in these little sets. Think of it like a mini playlist, usually 3 or 4 songs by the same orchestra, all designed to create one consistent vibe for a single dance.
So here's our game plan. We'll kick things off by looking at the Tanda itself. Then, we'll explore the incredible 4-act journey this particular set takes us on. And after that, we'll get to know the 2 absolute legends who made it happen, the orchestra leader and his singer.
All right, first up, the art of the Tanda. We're going to zoom in on this specific set of 4 songs and really figure out what makes it such a powerful, timeless combination for any dancer. And here it is, our Tanda, a classic set from the orchestra of Rodolfo Biagi, with the one and only Jorge Ortiz on vocals. Recorded back in 1940 and 41, these 4 tangos are basically a masterclass in how to create the perfect dance experience.
You know, the name Biagi itself is kind of a promise. When tango dancers hear his name, they know exactly what's coming. This sharp, rhythmic, piano-driven energy. His music is famous for these percussive little punches and crisp staccatos that just make you want to get on your feet.
But here's the thing. This Tanda is so much more than just a list of great dance tracks. When you really look at the sequence of the songs, you start to see this beautifully crafted story, almost like a 4-act play that unfolds over 12 minutes on the floor.
So the journey kicks off with Quiero verte una vez más, which has this warm, nostalgic feeling, a real sense of longing. Then, boom, Humillación kicks it up a notch, ramping up the drama and passion. The third song softens everything into this delicate, almost whispered confession. And the whole thing builds to the haunting finale of Todo te nombra, which just leaves you with this powerful, emotional punch.
And behind each of these emotional acts, you've got this powerhouse creative team. I mean, it wasn't just Biagi and Ortiz working in a vacuum. As you can see here, some of the most celebrated composers and poets in tango history. We're talking giants like Jose Maria Contursi and Francisco Canaro. They all had a hand in crafting these masterpieces. And the lyrics, wow, they are incredibly intense. Take Humiliation. It tells the story of a love that's pushed right to the breaking point, about someone who gives up all their pride just to be met with total indifference. It's that feeling, that wounded pride, that bitterness, that Biagi's dramatic music just captures perfectly.
So, who was the man leading this orchestra? The architect behind this whole iconic sound? Well, let's meet the maestro himself, Rodolfo Biagi.
Biagi had one of the best nicknames in all of tango, Manos, Brujas, which literally translates to wizard hands. And what's funny is the name actually came from a foxtrot he used for his radio show. But man, did it perfectly capture his virtuosic, almost magical control over the piano.
I mean, Biagi's rise was just meteoric. He was a professional pianist at 13, playing for silent movies. By 15, he's in a major orchestra, and he even recorded with the one and only Carlos Gardel. But his huge break, the real game changer, came in 1935 when he joined Juan D'Arienzo's orchestra. It was Biagi's energetic, almost frantic piano playing that basically defined D'Arienzo's famous dance-focused style, right before he left to form his own incredibly popular orchestra in '38.
But hey, an orchestra is way more than just its leader. Every great orchestra needs a defining voice. And for Biagi, during this golden era, that voice belonged to Jorge Ortiz. 37. Just remember that number. That's how many recordings Ortiz made with Biagi. Their partnership was actually pretty short, but it was just so prolific, and they produced some of the most beloved dance tangos of all time.
Ortiz, who was actually born Juan Alessio, was such a fascinating singer. Get this, he even studied with the same teacher as the great Carlos Gardel. He wasn't known for some huge, booming voice. His strength was his incredible precision, his personality, and his perfect modulation. And that's what made him the ideal instrument for Biagi's sharp staccato orchestra. He didn't just sing over the rhythm, he fit perfectly inside of it.
So, what happens when you put these 2 forces of nature together? When you combine Biagi's revolutionary rhythm with Ortiz's soulful, precise delivery? Well, you get something truly magical. This really breaks down their perfect synergy, right? Biagi provides the engine, that sharp, energetic framework, the rhythmic punches that really drive the dancers forward. And then Ortiz comes in and provides the soul, filling that framework with the story, with all that emotion and drama. And that balance, that's the absolute key. Their music is somehow both intense and elegant, both rhythmically addictive and emotionally deep. And that's exactly why their recordings aren't just, historical artifacts. They feel alive. They feel essential on dance floors all over the world, even today.
So the next time you're at a Milonga and the DJ puts on a Biagi Ortiz Tanda, I really hope you'll hear it differently. You won't just hear 4 tangos. You'll hear a 4-act drama unfold. You'll hear the wizard hands dancing on the piano and that perfectly modulated voice telling a story of longing, passion, and heartbreak. You'll hear the magic of a perfect Tanda.